Hey guys, it's me, Mr. T50, and welcome back to Subnautica. So we've got our new additions growing over here. I'll show you them off real quick. Oh man, it's dark. It's dark. Okay. So here's our bulb bush. We can cut it and we can get more of them if we need them for some reason. I don't think I do. This is our creep vine, which I'm not 100% sure, but I think it can grow taller. But I feel like my glass tube is in the way, so maybe it like defaults to shorter. I don't know for sure, but I think it does get taller if you let it. But it is fine as it is. We've got tons and tons of seed clusters. Oh, and it gives you kind of nice orange glow when you're behind it. That's weird. And they do make this nice, localized light. So they're kind of cool, especially if you planted them around in a few spots.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
So I made a little bit of video to add on to the end of the last video. If you didn't see that, more or less what I did was I went and collected a bunch of materials because I kept saying throughout the episode, oh, I want to make this, but I don't have the materials. I want to make that, but I don't have the materials. So I decided just to bite the bullet and go and grab everything. That took, I want to say, like 45 minutes to an hour. But I did get a lot of stuff. Very useful stuff. So, now I don't have it on me, so we'll have to grab it out of the storage chest. I made a few more, as you can tell, just to hold everything. So let's figure out everything that I wanted to make. I wanted to make a compass. That's copper wire and a wiring kit. Keep in mind, I went and got all of the materials that I needed to make the things, but I didn't actually do any preliminary, material making, if that makes sense. I didn't make the parts needed to make the things. I just I made a list and I was like, okay, here's a list of all the things I need to make the things that I want to make. This is going to be our compass. Now you think compass isn't super important, but it is kind of useful. Now if you look at the top, under our depth meter, we've got a compass. I actually kind of like how that looks. That's pretty cool. So we'll have a persisting compass for as long as we play, and that sits in one of our little, microchip slots, I guess? I don't know how many of these kind of things there are. I think there was one for a temperature gauge. I don't know if that's the case anymore. So we got that. What else? I wanted to make the Stasis Rifle. I don't know if I grabbed what I needed to make a propulsion cannon. If we have enough left over later, I will, but I don't know if I actually did that or not. So Stasis Rifle needs battery, computer chip, titanium, and magnetite. I got some magnetite last time. I know I've got a spare battery somewhere in one of these chests. I don't need to make... Yeah, there we go. Don't need to make one of those. We should have enough magnetite somewhere. Probably should have organized this, but I did not. There's our magnetite. We needed a computer chip, which I always get stuck on exactly what I need to make a computer chip, so I might just start grabbing random materials at this point. Just to make sure I've got enough to make whatever the heck I'm making here. And we need that for the computer chip. So let's make that really quick. See, it would have actually been kind of smart to go... Okay, copper wire. It would have been smart to go and make some of this ahead of time, but... I'm nothing but efficient. Computer chip. I'm nothing but efficient. Stasis Rifle. Alright. This thing is pretty cool. This is the closest thing that I think we're really going to have to, like, a personal gun. It takes up a decent chunk of inventory space. So it's something that...
Note. Craig McGill,
crash-landed in the acid swamps of Boreal 9, fought off arachnid kidney poachers, and hijacked a tame Star Wall. If he can do all that, you can survive one more day.
Thank you. I feel incredibly motivated to continue forward my survival. Probably don't need all of these out at the same time. Although I definitely want the Sea Glide out on one of my spots. Let's cover up the Builder tool for now. Alright, so... Stasis Rifle is, you know, a defensive item, but it's incredibly useful for collecting things and just dealing with overall... I don't know if it would help you deal with incredibly dangerous situations, but it's good for dealing with minorly dangerous situations. Making them not dangerous. So, you shoot it once. Makes a small little orb. You can go inside of it and move around normally, but everything else that would normally move around inside just moves very slowly. You can, however, charge it up, and you get a larger orb, which you're currently inside right now. And the larger orb will last longer. Quite a bit longer, though if you shoot again, that orb will go away. Charge it up to max, and you get a very large orb. This is quite useful, as you can see the radius right here. This is quite useful for, like if we're trying to deal with stalker teeth. That's quite useful for, you know, collecting stalker teeth. Now it uses more power to charge more, so if you just need to grab something really quick, a quick little burst is usually sufficient. Fish and really anything but yourself that's inside gets frozen instantly. And anything that attempts to go into the circle other than yourself will also get frozen instantly. Including your submarine, by the way. You can have some pretty interesting things if you're messing around with your submarine.
All systems online.
And get yourself stuck, assuming they didn't change this. Okay, I think it's got some limited range to it. Is that limited? I didn't know it was that limited in range. Can I not use it? Okay, I don't think that's supposed to happen. Yeah, I don't know why it's not interacting with the train. It usually does. Maybe they changed that? Anyway. We'll shoot it at her base. That still works. So, interesting stuff. Like, if you attempt to drive your Seamoth, and I think it slows down, maybe? Yes. I'm now officially stuck. And I can't do anything, as you can see from my hand moving. The only way to undo that... oh yeah, it does shrink as time goes on. I forgot about that. The only thing you can really do about that is wait for it to shrink, or you can shoot another orb and then... Yeah, then you can shoot another orb and it'll make the first one go away. Just some stuff to keep in mind. So it's a useful defensive tool, and even though it takes up a good chunk of space, I would say it's arguably quite useful. The battery does get eaten up quite a bit, though, as you can tell. But that being said, there's a lot of stuff like my scanner, which usually have high battery and don't need high battery all the time. So I could pull out the battery, from my scanner, and then use that for this and get some more power out of it. So that's the first one. We'll probably keep that on us. And keep the Sea Glide. Those would probably be the two big things I'll keep on me at all times. Along with my toolbar, which of course limits you somewhat, but I can always put it away if I need to, or in my little backpack on my submarine. Sorry, I know that was a bit long-winded. The next thing I wanted to make... Actually, I got a lot of resources, so... Wanted to make... I think the Ultra Glide Fins, definitely. Silicone rubber, titanium, and fins. I've got most of that. Silicone rubber we can get easily enough. Actually, I might have made some, I think. I'm pretty sure I did, now that I'm thinking about it. There's one piece of silicone rubber. There we go. So, and I gotta take my fins off for that too. So Ultra Glide fins, there's two upgrade options for fins. This one I think is roughly more useful right now for us. But there's another one that's kind of fun to play around with. So this will allow us to move even faster with our fins. General movement speed, as usual, is just better. So we're getting some pretty good movement speed. I'm not entirely sure if that stacks with the Sea Glide, but I mean, with nothing in our hand, we're moving pretty quickly, so it makes the Sea Glide less important, though it is still faster with the Sea Glide. But this may sway me to more often put the Sea Glide away, considering how much space it takes. In fact, I think,
Welcome aboard, Captain.
since I am taking the Stasis Rifle, I might put the Sea Glide away just for the time being. We'll see if I want it back later. I think I got the stuff needed for the level 2 depth upgrade. Plasteel ingot, magnetite, and enameled glass. So there's a plasteel ingot. Not sure if I pre-made enameled glass. I'm going to say probably not. So we'll go ahead and make some more. Yeah, we'll make some more. There's enameled glass. We're going to go grab the depth module. Keep in mind, if you ever make your base really deep and you're like, oh, I want to upgrade from... I have a level 1 depth module, so my base is currently at 280 meters depth. I think someone just messaged me. And I decide to pull this out. Well, as soon as you pull it out, your depth meter drops, and your vehicle can start taking damage immediately. So you got to keep that in mind. I have had that happen before, and you quickly just jam it back in and freak out for a second. I need... Oh, 2 magnetite. Okay, gotcha. It's okay. I calculated for all this. I'm not currently paying attention to things. Let me see, I think... What did someone message me? I think? It sounded like a message. I did. I got a message. Ah, okay. Gotcha. Sorry about that. I just wanted to see if it was important. And it kind of is, but not right now. Did I not grab another magnetite? I guess I didn't. Maybe I clicked the wrong button. I thought I did. Okay, so I've got 2 magnetite now, right? Not crazy. Alright. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I may have... I did. I grabbed the items I needed... Well, at least I think I may have. I grabbed the items I needed to make the 3rd one, so all I need is a plasteel ingot at this point. I've already got the ruby. Now... I don't know if I necessarily grabbed everything I needed for the plasteel ingot, but I should have enough materials lying around to make it, I think. So, plasteel requires a titanium ingot. Okay, I'm gonna have to set myself to offline, I think. 2 lithium. That's lead. They look kind of similar. There we go. It's more like chalky and white looking. Plasteel ingot. Give me just a second. I'm gonna go offline and Discord. That's where I'm getting the messages at. Alright. So now we can make the Depth 3 module. Get all that out of the way at once. Alright. Cool. Before I go back, let me see. Was there anything else I wanted to make? I think that's it for there. I had a couple, I think I had a module or 2 I wanted to make over here. Oh yeah. So I did a little research. Alright, that should be the last message. Sorry. This polyethylene, we're not going to get that for a bit. So, can't make the perimeter defense system. I guess they kind of upgraded it to a higher tier item, which makes sense because it's decently powerful. So let's shove this depth module in. Ooh, okay, that actually upgrades a lot. 900 meters, that's good. I don't know if it ever was a 900 meters before, but that's good. I think it was 600 max, maybe, but... Well, I mean, we can at least check out that one that's 500 meters down. We could go way beyond that now. I wanted to make... I think I wanted to make the solar module. I wanted to make the sonar module, I think. Because that one's cool looking. I don't know if it's entirely useful, but it's cool looking. And until we get the perimeter defense system, we could have another slot. Because I want to make the solar charger. So advanced wiring and enameled glass. And then we'll put in sonar as well. If I can remember everything here. So we need some enameled glass. Oh, I've got the stalker tooth. That's in my enameled glass. Need advanced solar. I can't remember all this stuff. Let's make our glass. I'm still kind of going with my theory that materials don't seem to be respawning, which is kind of weird. I don't ever remember that being a thing, but maybe it was. Some table coral sample. Wiring kit. Advanced wiring kit. Alright. Probably still need something else, but let's see. There's your solar charger. That one's just kind of useful if you want to start using a few different abilities, like the defense system or the sonar, that kind of chew up a little bit more power. So that's kind of useful. Sonar, I need copper wire and magnetite. Oh, did I use that? Oh, I used up that copper wire for that. Okay. There's our copper wire. There's our magnetite. And there's our sonar. Sorry this whole thing was a bunch of crafting at the beginning. That wasn't exactly how I planned that to go down. Alright. So we've got a pretty fully equipped Seamoth now.
Welcome aboard. All systems online.
So, let's activate sonar. Sonar is kind of cool. Alright? Our limited, as you can tell, obviously, our limited depth of vision right now, because it's so dark, is very low. But, putting out a pulse, now you can only put them out about every 3-ish seconds. Oh, does this not chew up as much power as I thought? I guess it doesn't. I think it does a little bit, but not too much. This is actually cooler than it used to be, I think. Oh yeah, and living creatures and stuff get covered with it too, so if there's anything really spooky, like way in the dark, that you like kind of think you saw but you weren't sure, this will totally illuminate it. Fish, everything. I don't know why I just went on an impromptu underwater trip, but this is actually pretty good for it. I remember the sonar not being that cool before. This is actually pretty legit. That looks new. Gabe's feather. You know, I guess getting more information about your surroundings does make the environment a little bit less scary. Okay, yeah, I just saw it. It did drop in power when I did that. don't know if it's a whole, like, 1%, but it's probably, like, half of a percentage. Which, if you combine it with a decent amount of driving around, would definitely lower your battery. Ooh. There might be something down here. Oh, there's definitely something down here. Well, this wasn't in the plans, but it's certainly kind of cool. Oh. Alright. I wasn't sure what we were going to quite do today, but I think I know now. Sonar is pretty cool. It does eat up some battery, but with our new solar charger, obviously in the caves it doesn't help, but as soon as I pop out of here, and it's, you know, not nighttime, we would actually start generating power again. So, it is a pretty cool device. Cooler than I actually even remember it, to be honest. Though I gotta say, if it just looks like this and you don't think there's much of anything, and all of a sudden, bam, like a ginormous fish appears out of nowhere, that would have me turning around real quick. I'm just saying. I can see myself just constantly pinging like this. This is really cool. See? Once you can see, everything's not as scary. For the most part.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
The best part is, of course, that the whole thing's pretty versatile, so if you, if you don't like the way you've currently got the CMOD set up, you can swap out some modules and stuff. It's pretty easy. Alright. Was there anything else I wanted to make? I wanted to make that propulsion cannon. If I had enough materials left, I think. And I think that's about it for the time being. Like I said, I haven't really played with the propulsion cannon, so I'm kind of interested to mess around with it a bit. Wiring kit, battery, and titanium. Grab one of these batteries. Do I have enough to make a wiring kit? No. Need more silver. I'm pretty sure I prepared to make this. Like, I put this, it might have been towards the end, but I put this on my list. The things I wanted to make was the propulsion cannon. Because I don't actually remember making it. Alright, that takes up a decent chunk of space, too. Whoa! I like that animation. So, how does it work? Do I have to find something to pick up, I guess? I see it trying to grab. Oh, and that consumes power holding it. Okay. Oh, I picked that up. Whoops. Okay. So yeah, it's like the gravity gun. You can pick things up and throw them. You can pick up fish too. Oh man, that makes fishing easy. Okay. Okay. Now we're getting into the dumb stuff. Hold on. Right? We take a fish with us to the surface. Can I shoot said fish into the sky? And better question, does said fish mind being shot into the sky? That's pretty great. That's pretty great. And then there is the upgrade we can make, which I think just makes it better. Here's some reef backs in the distance. If they weren't so non-threatening, they'd be terrifying. Of course, then again, I suppose anything that is threatening is generally terrifying. I think my base might be getting low on power. It's all this battery charging. Okay, so we know where we're gonna go a bit. Oh yeah, I ran out. That's why I was running out of power. So we're gonna go down there. My other plan was to try to do a little bit more exploration. I'm kind of worried that what I'm doing as of right now might be getting a little bit boring. I'm kind of sticking to safe areas. And I don't know if I want to do that all the time. Percussive force to entities in range. Computer chip and magnetite. May have not planned to make that, because I think I used up all my magnetite. Of course, then again, some of it seemed to strangely disappear. So, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to put it away for now. I don't think it's entirely something I need at the moment. Let's take a purple tablet. From what I read, it's generally a good idea to take a purple tablet and an ion cube with you when you go, because you can obviously use them to open up areas and, you know, those gates and everything. So I think I'll stick with that. What else? That one, 3. Eat a few fruit before we go. Alright, let's go. Also, apparently, for the time being, the ion cubes are a finite resource.
All systems online.
There apparently comes a point where you can reuse them. Not reuse them, you can get more, but for the time being, they are a finite resource, and I need to be careful with them. Alright, so as you can see right now, is that, like, tall crag thing over here. Oh, that's a piece of wreck, I think. Looks like it. Let's check that out real quick. It's like, yeah, this doesn't look very natural. Because it's not. What was that noise? Oh, it's a warper. Alright, fair enough. There's one located near here. However, he's far enough away that I doubt he's going to mess with us too much. Yeah, I think we're okay. Let's do a little scanning. Cyclops hull, there we go. Now we're getting what we need. Yeah, I see him over there. I don't think he'll be a problem.
Damage to plant life on the seafloor suggests this may be the migration path of a huge, bottom-dwelling life form.
I think it's talking about the sea treaders. You know, the big spindly crab-looking people that we ran into earlier? Ah, this is good. We're getting Cyclops fragments. Alright.
New blueprint acquired.
The Cyclops is kind of unique for its fragments.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
In that, even though we got all of the Cyclops hull fragments, we can't actually make the Cyclops yet. Which, by the way, I don't think I've actually been down in this area. So I don't quite know what's over here. Hopefish. Reginald. The floater. I scanned a couple things while we were gone. Gabe's feather. Violet blue. Whoops. Oh yeah, but I was going to show you that blueprint. So, even though that we've got the... Where is it? Yeah. The Cyclops hull done. We still have to get the engine and I think another thing before we can actually make it. So there's a good bit into making the Cyclops. So we're still a bit off, but we've got a third of it, like, all researched. That's good. I'm going to keep a lookout here, because honestly, I have no idea how dangerous this area of the ocean is. I don't think it's too dangerous. I think it's still kind of a connection to the last bit, which is pretty safe, but that's kind of in the direction that I haven't really touched much. So I don't know what creatures lurk beyond, you know? Like, honestly, finding that thing that we just found, that, alien whatever place that we're going to investigate. It's just titanium at this point. That was a new one to me. Alright.
New blueprint acquired.
Got the blueprint for that if we ever need to make that. What do we have here? Cyclops decoy tubes.
New blueprint acquired.
Cool. That's a new one for me as well. Nuclear reactor fragment. There we go. Never played with this one too much. What words? What are words? I never played with the nuclear reactor much. I think it requires a bit of setup to actually do. But maybe we'll look into it. Just like real life, I think it makes a lot of power. Yeah, I think we're fine. Just like real life, I think it makes a lot of power, but I think from the little bit of research I did into it, it requires a bit of setup to kind of get into. So how do we get in? Ooh, that's a bit dark. Oh yeah, one thing I do end up losing out on if I put away the Sea Glide is I lose that flashlight function that I was kind of taking advantage of from time to time. Since it's a pretty easy thing to craft, we may end up just making a flashlight. In fact, I'm going to go do that really quick because this is quite dark in here.